Alright, tubes, we got some new fenders here. We went up to the junkyard and we found these fenders. I think they're brand new and they're even the same color. I'm only kidding. You guys probably saw Road King's video. He painted them up for me. He did some body work, took care of the dents and everything. So what we're doing today is we're going to put them on the truck, but the first thing we're going to do is undercoat the inside. We probably don't need to. I mean, they don't do it from the factory, and you can see how these were when we took them off a what was it, a 98 Ranger. There was barely any rust on them. Obviously, we sanded down whatever rust there was, but in any case, to make sure these last as long as I keep the truck, we're going to undercoat it. So I went up to Lowe's. I got some Rust-Oleum rubberized undercoat. This should be pretty good stuff. I've never used it, but I mean, Rust-Oleum's good. Their paint's good, so I'm sure this is good enough too. So we're going to give this a shot. We'll see how it goes. Stand by. All right, we started doing this one here. We put a light coat on it, and it seems to be working pretty good. Like I say, I never used it before, so you can see I went on a little heavy at first there. But we're going to put another coat on it and make sure everything's a little bit more even. But it seems to be working pretty good. The overspray is not too bad, so I'm real happy with it. So we're going to Alright, we were putting the fenders on, and I don't know if you remember how they were sticking out before, and I had figured that was just because they had been hit, and so you can't decide what happened with them. But it turned out that this mount down here is all messed up, and it's the weirdest thing because it's messed up on the same way on both sides. But either way, I got my buddy Dave working on it, and he's got it pretty much. It should be good now. So let's test it out. Alright, we're getting closer here. This one's just about on. It needs a little bit of tweaking, but it's pretty much looking decent. Now you could probably see right at the bottom. Actually, on the camera, it looks a lot better than it does in person, but it's still sticking out just a little bit. But I don't know how you could tell now. It starts sticking out right about where a little bit below the emblem, but the reflections actually kind of make it look worse on the camera from that angle. But either way, it's a lot better than it was. But I'm not going to call this finished until it's pretty much perfect. But the one thing I'm discovering is that I'll come around the other side. It's a little bit easier for you to tell. But these inner fenders here, the problem with them is I think they're aftermarket. I can't imagine that they're stock. And the reason being is that I'm trying to put these stock fenders on, and now that's not to say that the fenders on the 98 or the inner fender on the 98 was just a little different, because I think I mentioned, but these fenders were off a 98. So in any case, I'm having trouble lining up some of the little pop rivets, push things that hold the fenders on, or the actual fender flares, these things. So that's the only issue I'm having right now, but I'm going to keep working and try and get them lined up, because the thing is right now, the way it is it looks good, it's straight, so really all I need to do is figure out how to hold them on there. And then we'll pretty much be good to go. But like I say, need a little more body work there, and then I'll be happy with it. Get everything nice and straight. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to start putting this one on. Like I said, my buddy Dave, he had to leave, but I don't know if I mentioned or not, we primed part of the inside of this. I went over more than I needed to, but there were some rust spots, so we sanded it and primed it just to have a little extra protection. But we're going to put this one on, see how it lines up, and do what we need to do. Alright. Okay, we got them looking pretty good now. It's been a couple days. I didn't have a chance to finish it up the last time I was working on it, but everything's pretty much straight now. I already showed you this. Gap's good at the top, good at the bottom, and it's just a little off in the middle. Pretty sure that's actually my door, so I'm going to call that finished. Our gaps here are pretty good. No difference in height. Not anymore anyway. I took it over to Road King's house. We actually was probably off by over a quarter-inch, but now it's good. I didn't film that. That was top secret how we did that, so that's fine. And the space is good between the middle here too, because the important thing is that it's consistent all the way down. You don't want it to be getting wider at one end and skinnier at the other. So even if the gap looks a little wide, that's the main thing I'm concerned about. And then this one over here, this is the one that I was showing you in the last segment that it was sticking out too much. So what I did is, you might have noticed already, because I don't think I have anything else to show over here, except for the fact that the hood looks like it's open right now, but that might just be me anyway, and besides, it's the wrong grill anyway, so you can only expect so much. But what we're doing over here to try and bring that other one in is I got a come along hooked up to it and an incredible amount of tension, and what I'm trying to do is pull the mount in, because since they're on straight enough already, I don't want to take them off and mess it up. But that's got a lot of tension on it. You guys would have been scared if I showed you that. But I'm just going to leave it on there for a couple hours, so either my cable will stretch out or the fender will stay where it's at. But I think that's about it. I'm going to end this because this video is probably getting pretty long by this point, but that's about it. The only thing we got to do now is put a few more tacks and stuff in to hold everything in place, and then wash it. That's about it. So hopefully you enjoyed, and if you got any questions, just leave a comment. Thanks for watching. See you, tubes.